Monica Long is dropping absolute fire. We're talking about so many different things here. Enterprise customers for Ripple. We're talking about an XRP ETF. We're also talking about Ripple's stablecoin and how that's going to affect XRP. If you haven't seen these few videos, you have to watch them. I also have a few other things I want to go over after these two videos, but let's listen. I'll give you some context. Let's have a little bit of fun here. It's great to see you back here on the channel.
Walk us through the logic and thinking behind the launch of a stablecoin when a lot of people think about the value proposition or the positioning of both XRP and Ripple as a company and XRP as a core component of the sort of product suite that Ripple offers. They think of it as maybe being almost a competitor or sort of an alternative to a stablecoin. So what was the thinking? What sort of things can stablecoins do that XRP can't, and vice versa?
It's a great question. We think of them as complementary and additive. So I'll take two of the kind of customer sets or audience sets that we talked about, payment companies and then developers. In the context of payments and that part of our business, there are plenty of use cases where for the customer actually seeing the transaction through in US dollars is what the customer wants, or it's just the most cost-efficient option. And when you think about major corridors like US dollar, euro, there's a lot of liquidity there. You don't really need a bridge asset like XRP. And that was the inventors of the ledger, the way that they'd always talked about. And, when I think back to the very early days of Ripple, what we had always talked about was the use case for a neutral cryptocurrency as a bridge asset. So like XRP in this case would be for in the future of the Internet of Value, there's going to be all kinds of things tokenized on chain. And you need an asset like that for really efficient cross-currency or cross-token settlement it's more the long tail. Let me simplify it. It's more the long tail of assets and currencies where the costs, when you think in the context of cross-border payments, you have different currency crosses between, a sub-Saharan African country and the Middle East or Europe, and the liquidity is not as great. The costs are very high. You could pay, north of 10% on that in fees for a payment like that. So that's where we see XRP having its role. In the context of developers, as another group, the US dollar has been the on-ramp for our whole industry, right? It's like it's the starting point mostly for any kind of buying cryptocurrency or other type of tokenized asset. It's a starting point for trading. And that's where within XRP Ledger, and we still think there's so much more upside potential for the XRP Ledger's DEX, the decentralized exchange. There needs to be high quality stable coins available on that exchange for it to be more useful for all types of developers. And we've been more focused on DeFi. So you think about DeFi, USD stables are the key starting ingredient.
The key starting ingredient, that's really a great way to end that. US dollar is still the most widely used around the globe for trade. Countries want US dollars. They're more stable than, let's say, other currencies. Ripple wants to position themselves as the technology provider for stablecoins. We've talked about this a lot on the channel. As banks want to develop their own stablecoins, some banks are not going to have a full dev stack team that are going to go in there and build all of this technology. They're going to want to go to companies like Ripple or like Stellar and say, hey, I need a Bank of America, or I need a Chase, or whatever it is, XYZ bank. Maybe there's a local bank near you and you can see the bank right now or something, and you could put that bank in place of what I'm trying to say here. But some of these banks won't be able to afford keeping all of these people on staff to manage all of this technology, and so they want to go to a company like Ripple and say, hey, we want to use your stablecoin technology to create our own stablecoin that'll be built on the XRP ledger. That is how I see this going down. Maybe you see something different. Let me know down in the comments. Monica Long also went on to say some interesting things about an XRP ETF, as well as a few other things. Let's play this.
Ripple's in a position where we can serve a lot of enterprise use cases for finance. So you can expect us to kind of expand beyond payments as a use case. Okay. Secondly, because we were just talking about ETFs, I think it would be very sensible for someone to launch an XRP ETF.
Too.
XRP has been, trading is one of the within the top 10 for how long? Maybe its entire life. And on the top exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, it's certainly in the top 5 of daily volume. The other factor there, because of the court's ruling last year, XRP and Bitcoin are the only 2 crypto assets in the United States with clarity from the government.
With clarity from the government. She's absolutely right. Also, I want to update you this month in June has been absolutely insane inside of Cryptonaires. There's a free 5-day trial to join Cryptonaires. In the last 3 weeks, I've called a 50x, a 40x, a 12x, and I think like an 8x. It's raining money right now. So if you want to take advantage of that information that a lot of people don't have, Cryptonaires is a good place for you to start learning. We have a lot of really amazing people in that community. There's a link down in the description. Also, if you're learning something from this video, we're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Please subscribe if you're not already, and feel free to share the video with anybody you know. So we're going to talk about ISO here. ISO was like ISO 20022 was the word of, November, December. Everybody was talking about ISO. And this gentleman happens to think that, banks, institutions need to deal with ISO this year, right now, not waiting till 2025 or 2026. Let me play this.
Happens with ISO 20022.
All right, so looking at 2024 then and getting your forecast, what are sort of the main big steps to sort of summarize what we've covered?
I think the big steps guys, it's just going to happen. And whether you think it's 2025 or it's going to slip to 2026, it's not. It will be a 2024 issue. And actually you need to bite it. You really need to get yourself ready. And if it was up to me, I would say automate it, because otherwise you're just going to be doing a lot of busy work, and that's not good for you. It's not good for your customers.
So he's saying, it's coming regardless of what you want to do with your procrastination. I mean, if it was me, I'd be waiting till like 2027, right? I'd be just like, oh, do I need to do that? I'm going to push that off. But he's saying, bite it, go get it done. It is not going to sit around forever. If your bank wants to stay relevant and have instant payments and be able to get into this new future of technology, you need to get your systems set up for this new payment system. So I really like that clip, and I thought it was pretty valuable. So let's talk about Jack the Rippler. XRP has been approved by VARA, Dubai's financial authority. XRP will be the bridge in the oil money. So XRP has been approved by VARA, XRP through Dubai for global money transfers. This is a 17-second clip. Let's play this.
Ecosystem worldwide, and it takes it very seriously that Dubai is actually now the center of everything that Ripple is doing as well, whether it is locally, regionally, or even internationally. And Ripple Swell being in the UAE is a great testament to that.
Ripple knows what they're doing here, right? They see the UAE, they see all of that new business. They want to, shake hands, kiss babies, and, go over there and help those guys build out their technology. They want to be the use case, or not the dollar, but the glue for the new oil money, right? If some of these countries don't want to use the US dollar for some trade, maybe they can use XRP, or maybe they can use Ripple stablecoin. There's a few other things that we could do to really try to enhance the capabilities of the XRP ledger and its customers. So Good Morning Crypto put this out. New global CBDC project mBridge continues to grow as Saudi Arabia joins. The Saudi Central Bank joins the Central Bank of China, Thailand, Hong Kong, and United Arab Emirates in this project. The aim of mBridge is to build a multi-CBDC platform shared among central banks around the world, alongside of commercial banks. It is built using distributed ledger technology to enable instant cross-border payments and settlement. What other Ripple connections exist between XRP and Project mBridge? Follow, comment more, blah, blah, blah. But it says, in a significant development in the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia has unveiled a strategic partnership with Ripple, a renowned blockchain firm aimed at revolutionizing cross-border settlements. This move underscores the bank's commitment to enhancing the financial infrastructure through cutting-edge technology, right? Quant is up there with a lot of this technology too. Ripple and Quant are probably my two favorites. So here we have David Schwartz. If the cost of payments is going down to zero, the world is going to change. Let me play this for you. Powerful.
Happen no matter what. That is a given. We had a revolution in the physical delivery of goods with the shipping container, which changed globalization, started globalization. We had a revolution in the delivery of information with the internet. But what we don't know is, what is the TCP/IP of money? What is the shipping container of value? We don't know that yet. There's going to be one, though. That is a definite. And that's going to bring changes. And what I also want to get through is that one of those changes that I foresee and that I think is important is that the size of payments are going to shrink, drastically shrink. Many of you people here probably have a job and you probably get paid twice a month or every 2 weeks. Well, why is that?
Yep.
You probably pay bills once a month. Well, why is that? It's because payments are expensive and clunky. But if payments were cheap and simple, then those frequencies could go up. Money could be streamed at you while you're working. You could stream money to your landlord to pay for the place where you're staying. Now, I know those sound dumb, and I'll be blunt. Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you, like, if we were talking about email in the late 90s and you said to me, like, what are people going to use email for? I probably could not have given you the examples that is on everyone probably here, probably has a cell phone, probably has email on it, and probably has hundreds of messages that look nothing like postal mail or the messaging that existed in the late 90s. None of that could I have predicted. If you'd asked me if the internet had enough bandwidth in the year 2000, I would have said, yeah, it has plenty of bandwidth. Well, could I have imagined Netflix and on-demand video? That's ridiculous, right? Like, the cost of bandwidth is too high for that. But the internet drove the cost of bandwidth down to zero. And if the cost of payments go down to zero, the world is going to change. And I'm going to explain some of the ways that I think that's going to change and what that means.
The world is going to change, guys, and crypto is really the next evolution of all the stuff that David was talking about there. I hope you learned something. I hope you're following. I'll see you next time. Aloha.